Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar. I am Shanwas Sayyed and my colleague Praneet Jadhav here. So let's see. But welcome to the webinar. So this is the webinar of demystifying API terminologies. So let's dive in and see different kinds of APIs and then decipher there some common terms you might be encountering. So beginning with, there are two main kind of categorization in APIs. There is one by audience and by architecture. So let's explore both. By audience, there are three different kinds of APIs available. One is public, one is partner, and there is internal APIs. So let's see what is public API. The APIs which are freely available from anyone to use, just like public park. Think whether API, social media, or map APIs used by countless apps and websites. Second one is partner APIs. These are designed for specific partnerships between business like two companies sharing customer data in controlled way. Imagine two restaurants sharing online ordering information for exclusive deals. Just like that, these are two different kind of public APIs. The last one is internal API. This internal API is kept private between two companies or inside of a company for developer content and different internal systems and applications. Picture the kitchen staff in restaurant using internal APIs to send food orders and different departments. Similarly, we have different uh, APIs by architecture, which will be explained by Praneet Jadhav.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. So, by architecture, there are mainly three kinds of architecture. First is REST APIs, second is SOAP APIs, and third is GraphQL API. Let's see REST APIs. REST APIs stands for Representational State Architecture. So, in REST APIs, the most popular type of following the restaurant analogy you mentioned, as Shahnaz mentioned, there are standard HTTP methods such as get, put, post, update, delete, like that. So the data format of REST APIs are in JSON format. Next is SOAP APIs. SOAP APIs are older and more complex to use. For such as they follows XML message specific protocols. Imagine a formal banquet with a strict order of service compared to a casual restaurant visit. Next is GraphQL APIs. In GraphQL APIs, it allows developer to specific data they need in all in one go, like ordering a customized pizza instead of the whole menu. Now, so some of you might be curious about these API things we are talking about, right?
So let me explain what is actually an API. An API is short for Application Programming Interface. Act as a middleman between different software programs, allowing them to talk to each other. Imagine a waiter taking your order in a restaurant and delivering it from kitchen to your table. Just like that, APIs also work. We, as a client, we request uh, something from our server, which is taken, that order is taken by an API and given to a server. And as a server, he finds what is valuable things or what request has been given to him, and he makes a response and give it back to us. So let's see what are the different parts of API requests.
So let's explore the different parts of API requests. So there are mainly four parts of APIs. First, verbs. It tells the server what action you want to perform on the data. There are some common verbs such as get, this retrieve the data from the server, post, it creates the new data on the server, put, update existing data on the server, and delete, removes data from the server. Next, we have endpoints. This specifies the exact resource you are interested in accessing. Think of it as a specific dish you are ordering from the menu. It is usually in URL within an API. Next, headers. Headers provides additional information about your request, like your authentication token or preferred data format. Think of them as special instruction you are giving to the waiter, like requesting for options. Next, body. This contains actual data you are sending to the servers. Depending on that, For example, when we order a food which is related to some pizza that might contain cheese, extra cheese, all that extra information. Now let's have the difference between authentication and authorization.
Okay. So authentication is just like providing or allowing to enter a club. It verifies your identity using method like password, token, or certificate. To think to think of it, it is like just like a bouncer outside a club, which first take your ID proof and see whether you are allowed to enter in or not. And whereas authorization is once you are inside the club, are you authorized to do a what all things are you authorized to do? Like, are you authorized to take a drink or not? Are you authorized to make a drink or not? Just like that. So authorization is defined as your permission, like accessing specific areas or ordering certain drinks. Imagine the bouncer telling you which section you can access and which you cannot. Let's see some more terminologies of APIs, like REST. What is REST? Imagine a restaurant where you order a food from a menu using specific request. Okay, that REST API or that REST stands for Representation State Transfer, a popular style of designing API. It uses standard format like HTTP and data format like JSON for smooth communication. Now, over here, you will be confused. Like, what is actually a REST? REST is nothing but a guideline or a protocol on which API should work. It has simply four different kind of verbs like get, post, put, and delete. And as it sounds, they all work similarly. Like for get, when we are requesting get, there's some information will be feeded to us. And we when do post, that means some information which we have given to our client will be fed to our server. Similarly, put means changing some details which are already in the database, and delete means deleting some kind of things from our server side. Moving ahead is called JSON. Now, JSON you might have heard if you are familiar with development. It is very lightweight language organization. It is very useful for us to create JSONs. Now, what is actually a JSON? It is nothing but what you can say a dictionary in which we define a name and a variable name, and before that, we in front of the name we provide the name of the particular person or something, right? So it is nothing but a structured data, so human can read it very easily, and similar for the machine also. Other is API key, a unique identifier for your application to access the API. Okay, what is this? An API key means when a request is sent to our links, there should be some kind of verification. Is this request which we are getting is authorized or not? So that's why we use API keys where we see if the requested URL is authorized to take our data or not. Similarly, endpoints. You might have searched www.facebook.com, right? So that is the base URL. But once you see, if you click on some kind of functionalities, like for settings or going to profile, there is something coming up in your search bar, like slash home slash profile. That is nothing but an endpoint that specifies which page or where you want to go or what you want to see. That is endpoint. Now let's see what we have just gone through. The sum of the main terminologies like REST is nothing just ordering a food using a standard request. For example, if you go into a restaurant, you see the menu, and after that, you will find which food should be ordered and everything. Similarly, in REST, as per the computer language, you will see what kind of request I want to make for my application to work and what activities I want to do. JSON. JSON is nothing but a lightweight language for organizing our data or keeping our data into a small or proper format. Authentication, providing an identity to access something or to allow to use it. Authorization, to see if that person or if the user is authorized to do some kind of changes or not. Okay. By understanding these key terms, you will be well on your own to navigating exciting world of APIs.
Thank you, everyone. Follow Work Labs for more such contents.
So before we conclude, let's see some of our chats and answer that questions. So first is Urvi Mishra, who has asked us what is API and how can I use for my apparel business. So API is a software, or you can say there are multiple APIs. For first, I will let me clear you. API is nothing but an developed by a developer, which is URL or something, which can be used for your different kind of businesses. Like, uh, for example, in Zomato, you might have you see the people when we order some kind of food. After that, we will be able to see their routes, like where is the delivery person is right now and what he is doing, or is it how much time it will be taking to her. Over there, they have used Google Maps API. By using that, they have shown us the uh, demography or the geographical area from where the uh, delivery person is delivering our food, right? Similarly, for apparel businesses, that you can create your own APIs or you can ask any developer to create an API which can give you similar kind of thing. For example, whether you're the person for your own business website is the person who is going to deliver your dresses or apparel things. Okay, whether the delivery has been done or not, or is it pending, or the payment related to that particular delivery has been confirmed or not. You can use such kind of things for your API by using API. And there is one more question from Aditi Mishra. That is, what is GraphQL? So, Praneeth, can you?
Yes. Yeah. GraphQL is something which allows developer that they can have a customized request that what all data they need specifically that can be called from GraphQL APIs.
Okay, the other question is regarding REST APIs and SOAP APIs. Okay, so REST API and SOAP API, you can see, you can tell that it can be differentiated between two things. REST API is kind of new perspective of making an API, and SOAP API was the older kind. For example, nowadays we have made some protocols or something that is called REST, which we use to make our API. We mostly use JSON format in our REST APIs, and as compared to old APIs of SOAPs, which were used to the XML and everything. So in REST API, we can we can use standard request patterns like get, put, post, and delete to interact with our JSON, and it is very flexible to use. Whereas in older XML format, uh, it is used to be a very strict format. For example, you are in a some kind of banquet, okay, where you have to what can say where you try to order food or something, but there is no proper guidance or something. What kind of thing will be you getting in which section, right? So like that, SOAP APIs are a little bit difficult and old, which are not much highly recommended and uses right now. Now mostly we use REST APIs. Again, moving ahead, there is a question from Salome. How can API help with business? So, how can in API, simple API can help your business? Is like earlier I said, like simple Google Maps API can help us to gain the or track the person or delivery person where he is and know whether our parcel is going to get delivered or how much time it will be taking. So similarly, we can there are different kinds of API which we can use and grow our businesses. For example, by using what you can say payment APIs or payment gateways API from Paytm and everything. If we have a business, online business, we can connect that Paytm payment gateway API to our website. We can accept online payments and we can keep track of them. So, and which is very useful because receiving and payment before delivery is much helpful for any business to get the confirmation whether the person is actually wanting that particular product or not and how much he is willing to pay. Okay. So, okay. So moving ahead, Arish Khan has asked, what are the core components of response? Okay, response can be of contain of the core component for response can be of status, which defines whether the particular request has been fulfilled properly or not. Like there are different kind of status code available, like 200, 400, 500, which is standard, right? So there should be a status, there should be a message that the particular action that user has done is completed or not or and with that if the client or the user has asked some kind of data that should also be given into the response. So thank you for everyone to join our webinar, and be sure to subscribe and follow Work Labs to for such kind of content on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Bye.